My name is Jim Metrock. I'm president of Obligation Incorporated, a nonprofit organization based in Birmingham, Alabama. I want to talk about BusRadio. I want to talk about the artists that are featured on BusRadio. Now, BusRadio, in their sales literature, claims that they play only age-appropriate music. And I have listened to BusRadio for the last 2 or 3 years, ever since it got started, and I can tell you that I have never heard a curse word in any song played by BusRadio. But what I have heard, and what parents and educators and school board members need to be very concerned about, is I have heard, and the children have heard, some of the most vile musical artists in our country coming over the speakers in buses equipped with BusRadio. You see, BusRadio has a truly bizarre policy. Their policy is they will play clean or cleaned up music from dirty artists. They will play cleaned up songs from an album that has a parental warning label on it. They don't do this rarely. They do this a lot. Let me read you some of the artists that have been featured repeatedly on BusRadio. Hinder, T.I., Kanye West, Diddy, Kevin Rudolf, Seether, Missy Elliott, One Block Radius, Neo, Akon, Loop Fiasco, Buckcherry, Simple Plan, Fabulous, Timberland, Black Eyed Peas, Fergie, and My Chemical Romance. That's some of them. Now, all those artists have had songs on BusRadio. All those artists have CDs with parental warning labels. Some of these artists have never had a CD without the parental warning label. Now, BusRadio thinks that a song from a dirty album with a parental warning label, performed by a filthy artist, can be age appropriate if you blank out some of the words. Now, there are some songs you don't even need to blank out. There are some songs that have no problem areas, and they're the only song on that CD that's clean. Now, children who hear this music going to school and coming back from school day in and day out are going to like these artists. They're going to get to like them. They're being exposed to artists that many parents, I would think a vast majority of parents, would not want their children, even teens, listening to. That's one of the big problems with BusRadio. That's why you have people like me saying BusRadio is age inappropriate. And yet there are bus drivers who say, I listen to BusRadio, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's all fine. Those drivers don't have the time to understand or to research who they're listening to. They don't have the time to see what are the other CDs, what are the other songs on that CD that song came from that they heard. You cannot get on a bus and listen to BusRadio and determine whether it is appropriate for their audience, the audience. You have to do a lot of work. And BusRadio does not make it easy. On normal radio, you often hear the DJ saying, okay, now we're going to have the XYZ band playing their latest hit, ABC. Or they'll say, hey, that was ABC by the XYZ band. Bus radio rarely identifies the artist. I think this is because they don't want nosy parents to know who they're playing. The kids know who's singing that song. But only rarely do they say the artist's name. I have to use a little application on my phone called Shazam, which will, when I play the song on the internet, a rebroadcast of what Bus Radio played on the bus, I press this little button and it sends this sample of the song up to the internet. It comes back and tells me who's playing and what CD that is. And over again it comes back with, this is a radio edit of a song from this album. Bus Radio shouldn't be playing any song by any artist that is known for their explicit lyrics. Yet they do. That's why you need to get Bus Radio out of your school system. There's only a handful of schools in this country that have fallen for this Bus Radio deal. And they fell for it. It wasn't their fault. They were sold a bill of goods. Bus Radio claimed they were going to do this, and nobody had an idea that they were going to be featuring these explicit artists, getting promoted to these kids. Only good songs, only cleaned up songs, yet these filthy artists are being pitched to the kids. Now the reason Bus Radio does this is because they have to be cool to the kids. If they become uncool, then the kids won't want to listen to it. And that's the end of the line for Bus Radio. So they decided they'd go right down the middle. They would play explicit artists, but they'd only play good songs. So parents wouldn't be upset. The kids wouldn't be coming home and saying, I heard this word on the radio. Yet the kids could say to themselves, wow, can you believe our school is playing T.I. and Neo and all the others for us? There you go. Hope you visit our website, obligation.org. Just click on Bus Radio and you're going to see all the documentation. We have audio clips. When we say somebody was played on Bus Radio, we assume you're not going to take our word for it. We have an audio clip of it. Get Bus Radio out of your school system and get these buses back to the way they're supposed to be. We don't need to be selling our children to a marketing company like Bus Radio. Thanks for your time.